Hello everyone, welcome to my guide for Valtan Phase 1. First we will see our work Esther since it's pretty new on Legion Red. Then we will see all mechanic of Phase 1 and in next video Phase 2. I will also tell you all the difference between normal mode and hard mode, but for Phase 1 there is no difference in mechanic. You can find the Esther on the top left of your screen. You got different shortcuts for activated, but you can change in the setting. When you use an Esther skill you need to aim it. Esther for Phase 1 and 2 are the same. On the left there is a terrain, it's an Esther for DPS. In the middle there is a way, it's an Esther more utility. It will help you to stagger a boss, so if there is a big stagger mechanic, it will help you to do it, at least almost. On the right there is a balloon tool. It will reduce your damage and help you to skip some mechanic if you use it. Let's see what you need to prepare for Phase 1. First, let's see battle item. Red Wolf do a lot of bleed damage, so use Panacea, and Red Scroll is very useful. For bomb, you use stagger grenade. Orb phase need a lot of stagger for succeed, so this bomb can help you to pass this mechanic. Let's see quickly orb phase mechanics. It's a mechanic that will one-shot your party if you fail. You need to prepare position for every member before. The goal is to take the orb in order and stagger the boss in the middle. You can do like the picture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and put the best stagger class first. Let's say at the beginning of a fight first, you need to lower the boss to 45 HP bar. No big mechanic before, only a classic move. We will see all the classic move with red and blue wolf after. At 45 HP bar the boss go middle, you will do a small AoE around him, which deal a very low DPS. After, I advise you to stay on the left a bit far away, because if you stay too close he will bump you at the end of the mechanic. After you will start to fight the Red Wolf. So Red Wolf main mechanic is bleeding. Each time he hits you, you will get 1 stack of bleed. After 2 stacks, it will trigger a line on the ground which can damage your team. So it's very important to use Panacea, Red Talisman and Dispel spell for avoid this. So for example, if you are a warlord and you got a big identity shield, you still need to avoid the wolf attack, else you will destroy your team with the line. During the fight with the red wolf, at some point blue wolf will join the fight, so you can see a message system when it happens. The goal when it happens is to separate both wolves, because when they are together they take reduced damage. To separate both boss is very simple. There is 2 random people with blue or red target on the head. That means they have the aggro of each wolf, so to separate the wolf they need to go opposite side. I advise to put 1 top and 1 bottom, but you do as you want. You need to know that there is also 3 people with this buff on your red. People with this buff need to hit the blue wolf for make him leave. People with no buff stay on the red wolf, they can't hit the blue wolf. Sometimes blue or red target can swap, but for example, blue target will always swap to someone with the buff, and red target will always swap to someone without the buff. When you deal enough DPS to blue wolf, he will disappear. Then 2 possibilities is orb phase if you are at 30 HP bar or almost. Little clarification, if you down red wolf to 30 HP bar and blue wolf is still here, he will disappear also for orb phase. Second possibility, you are far from 30 HP bar, and then you got a mini phase in darkness where your vision is reduced. You will accumulate a dark debuff. At 5 stack you are immobilized. So here is very important to make a rotation with red talisman for avoid everyone getting root at the same time. This phase will disappear alone after some time. We will see now a classic move for Red Wolf, and then we see orb phase. First pair boss will channeling his energy and will make red orb on the ground. You need to avoid those orbs, else you get damage and you get bump. You can also jump on someone even very far away. So first you jump on someone, then he spins, so you need to avoid the spin, and then you need to go close to him because you will do an AoE around him. can also do a lot of attack in front of him, and you need to avoid this because he do a lot of damage and will trigger a lot of bleed stack and many lines on the ground that can kill your team. Another annoying spell, so first he do red zone on the ground, you need to dodge, then he will make a back dash and do multiple line from the middle to the side. So after dodge the red zone, you need to go on his right or left for be safe from the line. You can also make tornado around him and he will try to follow someone and you can target him during this phase. There is also a claw attack in free time, you will hit in front of him and then far away. So you need to go behind him, or if you get hit by the first attack, you can go close to him for avoid the next one. You can also TP behind a member of the party and make a spin. Now we will see the orb phase. So orb phase happens 2 times during the fight and it's a one-shot mechanic. There is 2 ways for pass the orb phase mechanic. There is one where you use an esther and one, the classic one, where you don't use an esther. So first let's see the classic one. So take the position you decide before the fight from 1 to 8. Stay close to your orb spawn because the orb follows the closest person. So if you're too far away, someone may take 2 orb aggro and it will be a mess. So you need to hit your orb in the order you decide before and then you go stagger the boss. If you take too much time for stagger the boss, you die. If you take the orb in the wrong order, you die as well. So it's very important that the first person who take the orb take it very fast for go the fastest possible to stagger the boss. Okay, little qualification for understand better the mechanic. We start top right for the first position because it's a common case in Korea, it's more useful like that. You can start to hit a blue or red orb, it don't matter. What matter is to alternate the orb. Blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. If you do something like blue, red, red, you dead. You don't need to hit the 8 orb for succeed this mechanic. So if your stagger succeed and there is still some orb up, you just continue the mechanic or wait they disappear. You can just keep kiting. After you hit 1 orb, you got a debuff, so if you take a second one, you die. But if you take a panacea after the first one, you can cleanse this debuff and take 2 orbs yourself, for example. Can be useful. Second possibility for pass this mechanic is to use esther way, so the middle one. So you use esther way and it will do a lot of stagger on the boss, so it can allow you to be slow or do some mistake. If you use esther way, you only need 1, 2 or 3 people for succeed the stagger mechanics, so the other one can run, for example. So it's very useful to use way in pug when you don't know with who you are playing. If you don't use way, of course you still have an esther to use, so you can use the first one, terrain, for DPS, so use it before the mechanic or after, but not during the mechanic, because during the mechanic you don't do any DPS, only stagger. When you succeed the orb phase, you fight the blue wolf, and at some point the red wolf will invade, so it's a bit the same than before, except blue wolf take the red wolf place. And at 15 HP bar you still have another orb phase to do, is the same than the first one. Don't forget that when the red wolf will invade, you need to do the same than before, except it's the red wolf you need to hit. So people with the buff will go on the red wolf. So we will see now the main mechanic for the blue wolf. So main mechanic for the blue wolf is explosion, so when you see one of those 3 symbols on the ground, you need to take care. Green is a big explosion, but you can see the red zone on the ground. Red is a small explosion, but you don't see the red zone on the ground. And blue is ice, so if you get hit by the ice, it will spread on your team, so you need to avoid it. Blue Wolf got 2 waves for make his explosion first. It's always the same move. He will do 2 blue waves first and then send explosion on every member of the party. So it's good to group during the blue wave and go opposite side. Second one, he will randomly put 1 explosion on the ground, so it's less easy to notice and you need to take care. Anyway, color explosions are always random. The most dangerous explosion is the ice, because she can freeze all your team, so it's good to use spacebar for avoid to be freeze and avoid the spreading on your team. Now let's see all classic moves for Blue Wolf, except the one who are very similar to Red Wolf. First, you need to know that Blue Wolf won't apply bleed stack. So Blue Wolf can spin and then make an AoE around him, so you need to dodge the spin and go close to him for dodge the AoE. Can also send a shuriken that will divide into many shuriken. You can also dash on someone on the team and let blue orb on the ground, so take care. When you hit 15 HP bar, you do the second orb phase, so it's the same as the first one, and then you will fight the purple wolf. Purple wolf is a bit a mix of red wolf skill and blue wolf skill, so you will got red wolf basic pattern, and for example you will also have a blue explosion pattern. And a bit more new spell we will see after. When you succeed second orb phase, it's a bit like beginning, you got a transition phase. I advise you to go bottom far away because you need to dodge small AoE around him, then you dodge a red zone on the ground, it's easy. Then stay a bit far away for don't get bumped, and his purple phase. Purple phase, first move is always like Blue Wolf, it's 2 blue wave and an explosion, so stay together and go opposite side. Purple Wolf, so he got like 3 new mechanic. The main mechanic is fear mechanic. At sometime he will fear someone, it's always the farthest person of the wolf who will be fear. When someone gets fear, you need to stagger the boss for free him. If you don't succeed the stagger mechanic, he will kill the guy fear. It's good to know that you can also dodge this mechanic with spacebar, but it's not easy to dodge it when you are 8 and he will try to hit the farthest guy. Anyway, if you are 8 alive, the stagger check is very easy. In Purple Wolf you don't have bleed stack or trigger line on the ground, but there is random line will appear during the fight, so take care. Another new spell, at some point some people will get a debuff, and at the end of this debuff it will trigger a cycle zone and it can slow you and damage you, so just go out of this zone. Another new spell, he can try to catch someone in front of him, and if he catch someone he will deal a lot of damage to him and in front of him, so try to avoid this mechanic the most possible. Last difference, he can make a tornado like Red Wolf, but he will stay in the same place and just send some shuriken. So it's over for phase 1, I hope it helped you and my English accent was not too hard to understand. See you for phase 2 anyway.